Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Chris and I are back as we ride the whirlwind with Sharknado 5 Global Swarming,
baby.
directed by Anthony C. Ferrante. What a great guy he is. With much of America lying in ruins, the rest of the world braces for a global Sharknado, and Finn and his family must travel around the world to stop them. This movie was made on a budget of $5 million. Where they spent it, I have no idea. I wish somebody would stop these movies. I want stop the whirlwind. I want to get off now.
All we have to do is raise $5 million, and we could just pay the director to stop. So that's a Kickstarter.
It would be extortion, wouldn't it? Just like that busker, you pay them to stop singing, or if I got one of them toll strip booths, you'd pay me to put my clothes back on.
Yeah, I was hoping you would enjoy this one a little bit more as far as like the cameos were from England. Like I didn't recognize a lot of them, so I was like, oh, maybe Colin will appreciate something.
Yeah, the fucking Doug Kitty Price out. Yeah, that's when you know you've scraped them. Now I know the standard of the celebrities.
Yes.
Reckon Sam Fox was nice back in the day. She's done it, but the freaking Kitty Price and Tom Daly and who else? Oh, like grade Z freaking celebrities. But now I know the standard. I've now got a reference to what the hell they're digging up for the show.
Exactly.
Just please stop. Please stop. There's only one more.
That's the title of our review. Please stop.
I was gonna watch this again today, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. And when we were talking and you shared me that thing, that I was bored enough. It's like, nah, I can't do this movie again. Can't refresh myself. I properly struggled to pay attention during this. I mean, that's how bad these are. I just can't, like, my brain's just shutting down and going, what have I watched?
Yeah. I think that's the intention. I think they want you to either, be brain dead or just like highly medicated, while you're watching these. Maybe that's the appeal.
I can't believe these were a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, these were a proper phenomenon back in the day.
Like $5 million is a decent budget, like especially for a made for TV movie, right? I don't think these made it to the big screen.
These did. Or no, they didn't.
No, right? Sci-fi.
They had like premieres and stuff. They did weird things.
But I'm just saying for like a TV show, like $5 million is like a pretty big budget. So they obviously think highly of these. But it's tough. It's tough to watch.
It's do you know what? It's the best money laundering exercise ever.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, the more I think about it, the more TV, like the whole entertainment industry, TV and stuff, is a massive racket. How can so much crap get made?
It's a lot of hours in the day. You got to fill it with content. Yeah.
But
it's even worse now.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because nobody watches. Like, even less people watch. Less people watch TV, and yet more content's made. It's an odd one.
It's not a good formula. Yeah. But there were a couple of interesting parts to this one as we go along. There was a few nuggets here and there. Not enough to fill an entire movie, but there's some interesting things to go over.
I'll not lie. At the very beginning of this, I did have hope. It looked interesting. I thought they were going to maybe step their game up a bit. When we got the scene and we see the sort of cavern, which doesn't exist under Stonehenge, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It looks nothing like God. Looks nothing like Stonehenge. I was actually properly offended. I'm not lying. I was properly offended by this. Well, they should have just stayed in America. Why did I have to do that?
You have to share in the misery. But I think they did one criticism that I've had over the last couple where they have so many different storylines and they're just going all over the place. Like this one did travel all over the world, but it did kind of have one singular storyline where there's now the shark gods, and that's the cause of all this. At least they stuck to one specific idea, a terrible idea, but a consistent one.
Yeah. But even they're zapping all over the place. Like, you were getting a headache watching it. I was.
Yeah.
Like, please stop. And we've got Nova abseiling down this cliff, and she's now the head of a sisterhood, which has randomly popped up. They don't know what to do with her character.
No. She's kind of become a superhero or something. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it is, but it's almost like she's joined a Sharknado cult, or led one, which is the weirdest cult ever. And they then take the artifact from the temple, which kicks us all off. And then instead of just putting it back with oh, right, that doesn't work. Back, there you go, fixed. This whole slew of events happens.
Yeah, and even that really doesn't make sense, because if the rock was already there, placed perfectly, why were the previous 4 movies? you know?
So, if that was the thing stopping the Sharknadoes,
yeah.
You see from the notes, I just like I've nothing for you.
Yeah, it's a difficult plot. It's definitely was a ripoff of Indiana Jones, and they're trying to play to that trope, which, all right, it's different.
It would have worked if they had to maybe gather artifacts to form an anti-Sharknado thing. Say they had to went to Egypt and got the staff, and then they had to go to Stonehenge and get that, and then put them together, clink clink, magic totem, zap zap, Sharknado gone. But they didn't do any of that.
That sounds like a fun role-playing game. That could be like a side quests and a Sharknado TTRPG.
Yeah, I'm never playing it though. Once we do the last movie, I never want to think about this again.
For a Sharknado TTRPG, you have how you have to roll for stats. You can't have an intelligence higher than 3, otherwise you can't play.
Yeah, that's it. You have a good idea, you're right.
Get
out of here. I have none of that in this game, thank you. Oh my god. Like, we start off, it seems good. Then the actors open their mouth, and I'm just like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is that this is the 5th movie. You'd think by sheer repetition that they would have gotten a little bit better, just because usually if you do the same thing over and over, if you practice anything, you become a little bit better.
I almost sound like a podcaster.
And
that's repeat myself 2,000 odd times. You know what I mean? I almost sound like I know what I'm doing in front of a camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But nah, not our friends Tara Reid or Ian Zeffring or the rest of the co.
Yeah, they're not getting any better.
Even David Hasselhoff couldn't be annoyed with this one. He's like, nah. They couldn't tempt him out of his cave with here, David, little bundle of money. Come on, do another one. Like,
or the director's like, look, you're acting too much in these movies. You're not allowed back. Maybe that's what happened.
We can't be having any of that. You're showing everybody else up.
But you're right. The acting is terrible. I've always felt from the beginning that Tara Reid was the worst part. Ian Ziering is wooden and very boring and doesn't show any emotion. But Tara Reid isn't convincing as a human being. It's just she seems confused all the time, doesn't she?
Yeah. Funny you should mention that, actually. Yeah, there was this little compilation that sort of popped up. Yeah, we'll have to show it. I'll probably get copyright struck, but you know what? It'll be worth it. So this is from a talk show of somebody I absolutely despise, but still, they're funny. Let's just do that. Yeah, right. Okay. So Here's if you haven't seen Sharknado, here's the level of acting. This is absolutely what else.
Where are you? Where are we? Where are we
Our
going?
face.
What's Vega? What is she doing?
Hypotheticals.
Why?
You gotta use that as a propeller. We have to draw Gil Sharknado closer to us so we can get into it.
I'm a lot of things, Finn, but I'm not a human helicopter.
You're not an actor.
That sums it up perfectly.
That's me watching that's going, ah! I know we're most at 5 million went anyway. The flipping plastic surgery budget.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone, male, female, they all look plastic in this.
Yeah.
Everybody looks plastic.
I have to imagine that was done before the movie started, because if that actually was part of the movie budget, the production budget, it would have been double. It would have been 10 million at least.
God.
It is crazy. Yeah. Even the daughter, who's only like in her 20s, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, she wasn't in this one.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
The cousin this time.
Yeah, this time the cousin. Yeah.
And even they, what's her face? Doesn't even look the one that plays Nova. Like, no, everyone looks horrible in this. I don't know what it is, if it's the makeup, the camera lighting, or what, but everybody looks awful.
Yeah.
Like, look at the state of it. Like, I'll not play it again, but just look at even that. Look at the faces. I'm flipping. The guy plays. He is one creepy child.
Oh my gosh.
But even he looks plastic. I don't know what the hell they've done with the. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're CGI actors. It's like ChatGPT wrote a few actors. This is the first attempt.
Maybe that's what the movie is supposed to do. They have like a syndicate. They're basically set up with like a plastic surgery office, and the movie is just like a front to try to get them in the door, so they all have plastic surgery. Like, oh, you need this; it'll make you look good in the movie. And then like the whatever money they make in the movie is like tripled by the plastic surgeon. Yeah, it is terrible.
So they decided to go global, and of course to start off in the UK. And by the way, Stonehenge isn't flipping 20 minutes outside London. It's in flipping Salisbury, which is like close to the middle. It's nowhere near it, but anyway, everything's 5 minutes to London, apparently.
And just there's no cave underneath that you can.
There's no cavern system.
Cavern system.
Oh, the hippies would have already found it. The ones that track there every year would already be living on it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Salisbury's actually a really nice place. Loads of quaint little villages all around that area. The stuff's actually really nice. That's where Bath and all is, and all them type of towns are really nice.
Nice.
A lot of nice pubs and restaurants.
I imagine it's pretty like touristy though, because of
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like summer car, go around all little villages. Nice little time. Good times had by all. Lucky enough to be based down there once, and honestly, that was it. You just every time you had the weekend off, you're just somewhere different. It's great.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah, so they decided to do that, and then they end up in London, and then they're ripping off James Bond. Although this might have been better than the Daniel Craig ones. But what are those accents?
Yeah.
What are those? What the hell is that meant to be? Like
I think the weirdest example was the Q character, played by Clay Aiken. So I don't know if
that is.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that. So Clay Aiken was a reality singer. He finished runner up. They couldn't even get the winner, but he finished runner up in season 2 of American Idol in 2003. and that's when that show was like at the height of its popularity in the States. And from that, he had like a few small like TV show roles and things like that. Never a big star. This is more, Jared from Subway level. But to pick someone to play the Q character, why not pick someone who's actually from London? his British accent was worse than Tara Reid's acting, and that is the harshest criticism I can say.
That was even the young actor that played Gil probably asked to get himself disappeared. Oh, I get to like not be in this movie for most of it. Thank you. This is painful. Like that wee kid was like, he wasn't even. He's looking, going, what the hell is this? He's like
it was
9 or something.
Yeah, it was his suggestion to disappear in the hurricane.
Yeah,
of the tornado.
he jumped.
He jumped.
Oh, that like I said, it was just painful. And right, you can go to London and you can see changing the guard. You can see guards. You can take photographs. I have seen loyalist flute bands with better uniforms than what the hell that was. I'm trying not to lose my shit, but that bit really pissed me off. I hate when TV the fucking couldn't even stand up straight and fucking stayed there carrying the rifle and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't look very professional.
Not even that, but they couldn't even stand up straight. Like, I've seen crows, friggin' raw recruits, do a better job on day one.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
And it's a shame, too, because that would have been one of the few interesting parts of the movie. Like, I like the idea of the Royal Guard, which they're supposed to stand there in protection of the Queen, right? 24/7. Is that their main
right?
focus?
The guard regiments are actually infantry soldiers, and it's not a permanent. The ceremonial duties is a duty, so it's a 6-month stint. So the same blokes that are standing there are also, they've got their camp. You know what I mean? The tours of Afghan, Iraq, Falklands. There's in fact they're I was attached to them for a while. They're hardy blokes. Honestly, they're sort of next tier below freaking paras and commandos. You know what I mean? They're good blokes.
Yeah.
The ceremonial duty is only part of it. They're not a show guard. They're not a parade squad. That's what people make a mistake. They're legit soldiers.
Yeah, so I thought that would actually be kind of an interesting premise. Like they never expect to actually be called into action. Like it's like, I mean, they're there to protect, the Queen from any like attack, but nothing's happened, I'm sure, in like 100 years, right? I can't imagine. Have they ever been called into action?
Because of politics, it's actually the police do that, and there's, you know what I mean? They're purely there as a ceremonial, for tourism.
Right.
There wouldn't be, if they were given if you see the photographs or the videos where people are acting up, they're not allowed to act. If they were allowed to act, nobody would be arsing about. There'd be nobody climbing into Buckingham Palace with machetes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they'd be introduced to the working end of that bayonet.
Right.
But it's all politics, and they're not allowed, like, strict orders not to get involved.
Yeah.
And it is purely for tourism. It is for ceremonial show. But the food guards are not. Look them up. Look up their operational. They've all got battle honors.
Gotcha. But my point is that they're not expecting to be actually called into action. So I think it could have been an interesting point in a different type of movie to actually see how would they react in a somewhat unexpected, attack, like from from aliens or from something, strange. Like, would they respond immediately, or the fact that they were like totally unexpected to actually
giving orders to respond immediately? Yeah. Don't forget, the ones that are standing doing this, actually on ceremony are only they're only a handful. The rest of the regiment is, you see it now. You see the ones that are cutting about in in combat fatigues. So yeah, you've got your ceremonial uniform, dress uniform. Gotcha. You go and you do that. That's like your guard duty. You go and do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But the rest of the regiment's operating as normal. Like there's a QRF and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, I spent 3 months up in Balmoral when I was attached to them, and
Wow.
you've got, I mean, it rotates.
Hmm.
So
Gotcha.
that's only a handful that are actually marching on parade. Even the ones, and that's only a regiment at a time. I mean, there's 5-foot guard regiments, and they rotate. So even when a regiment's actually on, on duty, that's only like a platoon that's actually guarding, doing the ceremonial in uniform. Because then you've got the next lot ready to take over. You've got another set actually tooled up on quick reaction force. But you don't see that. That's the whole thing. It's not telegraphed. That's the whole point.
Seamless.
If it ever comes to it, you're getting messed up.
Yeah.
Trust me, if lads were allowed, if the lads were actually 100% in charge, you not notice there's white vans go about the place and stuff. I mean, people be bundled in the back of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you don't see. If somebody really, really got up to something, they're getting messed up.
Yeah.
But that's by the by, all they need to do is get a few people that can actually stand up straight. Like, how hard's that?
Yeah.
Just though that's the worst. And I've seen people taking the piss dressed up as guard. I've seen kids that's dressed up better.
Yeah.
I've seen kids turn up, dressed up better than these Muppets in this TV show.
Like Halloween and stuff, you mean?
No, there's wee kids do the dress up because
just year round.
Their daddies are, they turn up in the I'll send you videos.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of them. Happens all the time.
Gotcha. But I think my point was just like it would have been cool in a different type of context or movie to see them actually in action against like a super, like a superhuman type of event, just to see them kick some ass. But these weren't,
it was just bad.
This was just bad. Yeah.
It was actually, the bit where he went the White House.
Yes,
that actually looked more professional than this.
With Mark Cuban. Yeah, you're right.
That whole scenario, you're just going, that wouldn't happen. Like, it's not even taking it's like even taking that whole setup of going to see that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And it's not even funny because it's just dumb and badly. The Naked Gun movies did a better job.
Yeah.
Do you remember Leslie Nielsen did the whole thing with the tackling the Queen?
Yeah. I think
that was funny.
One. Yeah,
that was funny. Do you know what I mean? That you looked at it and you went, ha, that's good. That's comedy.
Yes.
This is just painful.
Agreed. Yeah.
So all this happens, and I had to look up who the hell Charo was.
Even I forgot that one.
I had no idea. I don't do. See, I realized I don't do. This is why I don't do TV. This is why I unplugged around about 2002.
Yeah.
I was one of the unpluggers. I'm quite proud to say that, actually. Because I can't watch. See, once I watched the transition of MTV from being a music TV thing to a reality thing.
Sure.
And all those shows, like in their infancy.
Mm-hmm.
God, I was doing the door when the contestants from the first Big Brother turned up at I used to do the door at a swanky bar, and they turn up like a wine bar thing.
Oh, cool.
But I had no idea who they were.
Huh.
Because even then I'd already given up. Because TV just turned me off.
Yeah. This was a very odd choice for the Queen. Like, I get they have a small budget and they've had some pretty bad cameos, but even within the Sharknado world, they could have chosen someone else to play the Queen. Like, they've already had Bo Derek, Olivia Newton-John. Like, someone like that at least would have had a little bit more clout than Charo. That is a weird choice.
No idea who that was, but oh my god! I just looked at him. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's insulting to your queen and to your country. I apologize.
She shouldn't be playing anybody.
No,
Like,
no.
oh god, I haven't watched anything with her, but just the look of her, just and she opened her
Yeah,
mouth. That was it. That was enough for me. I'm like, no,
yeah. Maybe the Crypt
God.
Keeper. What was that show? The Crypt Keeper.
Oh,
and,
the Tales from the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt. She'd play a good Crypt Keeper.
I was trying to find that comic. I was wanting to do that comic on the show, the Horrific Tales, but I can't find it anymore. Apart
Oh,
from
okay.
the super expensive collector's edition, which I'm not
Yeah,
buying a $1,000 comic to take pictures of and stick on YouTube.
right. Yeah,
I'm not that keen.
yeah. That'd be cool though. Yeah.
Oh god, right. Yeah, and Gil is just why did they have Gil with them?
Yeah, just for that plot, so that he gets sucked away. But it didn't make sense. They've been so protective of him in the past. Yeah,
But the last time they had the whole family, that was the whole thing they were building up to, that the shepherds were, the dream team.
right.
Did nobody else want to play?
Yeah,
Because I have a feeling, was that the same actor that played God, I forgot his name now, the oldest son?
Matt.
Matt.
I think it was the same actor from the previous one, but not the original actor from the first movie.
No, yeah, I don't know. He looked odd.
Yeah, I don't think they picked. I don't think this was a third actor. I think it's the same as
All right.
4 and 5.
Everybody looks odd in this.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, everybody looks strange.
yeah,
I don't get it.
for sure.
But
sure.
obviously they decided not to go with the whole Shepherd family now, and they've got them all disjointed because I don't think the actors even want to know. Obviously, the ones that might have a career, they're trying to forget they've ever part of this.
Yeah, the studio can't get them in the same room. They have to like go to their house. They have to make it like so easy. Look, I know you don't want to do this movie, but we'll come to your house.
Oh, just built this out your back garden. Can you just go in here for 5 minutes?
Yeah, we'll make it as easy as possible.
What did they do to April's Acres? That looked like a
Yeah.
friggin' wasteland.
Yeah, it was like a mine shaft or something. Yeah, that was weird.
Is it wrong to maybe it is, but a little bit of continuity?
Yeah,
Will something look the same that you can say it's the same movie and not just a disjointed mess? Because this isn't a movie.
yeah. The shame of it is that the continuity that they've had throughout the series is the two main actors, and that would be the one continuity that me and you would be totally fine if they changed.
Yeah, after the first movie.
Yeah, and that's the one part they're like holding to. Yeah,
Who voted for her to come back? That was fake. That had to be rigged.
yeah,
That had to be the first iteration of bots to get her back in. No way.
for sure. Yeah.
Now what's this weird shit with Finn and Nova again?
It's so weird that they keep playing to it, right?
Just have them shag already, and then April can join in, get it over and done with, and then that's it. You can put it to bed. See, that's freaking weird. Like at one minute she's all, "I'm your godmother to Gil and stuff and all part of it," and then when he thought April was dead, there was her chance, but she disappeared. And then when April comes back, she's back humping his leg again, and now they're just weird, friggin' sexual, non-sexual thing between them.
Yeah.
And your guy Ian Ziering doesn't know what, like, he's acting angry in scenes where he's no need to be acting angry in.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
You know how they have like adult movies, like porno movies about?
Yes, I'm familiar with them. Yes.
No. How they take like regular
They're
movies.
quite useful. I wish I'd discovered them earlier in my life. I'd have been 2 marriages less.
That's a fair point. But do you know how they make like parodies of actual movies? So I'm sure
Yes.
somewhere out there's like a Sharknado porn parody, and I bet the acting in that is better than the acting.
I don't
in the
think
real
a
movie.
porn star would demean themselves by doing this. I think even the porn actors would be like, "Nah, sorry, we've got standards."
We have standards. Yeah, that's fair.
Just shag each other already.
Yeah.
Or fucking write one of them out of this. They don't know what to. Well, they don't know what to do. They just. I think we've talked about this before. Every one of these movies is a bunch of sticky notes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you know when somebody starts a thread on social media of "Let's tell a story"? I'll do the first line, and then it always goes tits up because someone will break it, and then it just descends into chaos.
Right. Right.
That's somebody just copied and pasted that and made it into a movie. That's what these
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. $5 million budget. They didn't leave any room for writers. It's all cameos and I don't know, special effects that are not so special. I don't know.
I've seen people with a phone do better.
Yeah.
Like, and funnier. In fact, there's funnier shorts that people do on Instagram and stuff than this crap.
Yeah.
There's people will bust their backsides to produce a 3-minute short video on Instagram of like a comedy skit.
Right.
And it's better than this. And there's even those fake ones, you know, the horrible ones where somebody gets into an argument and it's the same two people and they keep doing different scenarios and, you know, it's really bad. They're even better than this. Yeah.
The only thing that these movies are missing is found footage and digital blood. And I think if that's the only thing keeping it away from just making it worse.
That's probably the next one.
Yeah. It's an entire movie of found footage and digital blood.
Sharknado Sisterhood.
Strange.
What was that?
You know, I guess they were trying to find a way to explain where Nova was, I guess, in the past movie. And also the fact that she has access to this like tracking equipment where she could track Gil, because that was like a plot point. You know, how, you know, if he's in this Sharknado, they want to make sure he's okay. But I think they could have done that without creating this whole ridiculous.
She had a Sharknado bust in RV.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
third one.
Yeah, I think the third one. Yeah, they already established that she
does this stuff.
Yeah,
and
so they didn't need to create all that.
Yeah.
They didn't play it out, right? Like at no point did the sisterhood, you know, come into play outside of that. They had that equipment and, you know, they were able to help April. It really didn't make sense. You could do away with that whole plot point and it would be the exact.
We could do away with this whole movie. Let's be honest.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm sorry, mate. I feel like I have to apologize to you every time we do this.
Nah, that's all right. That's all right.
Honestly, and I apologize. Well, I suppose folks out there, though you know this is coming out, you probably haven't watched these movies to just.
Yeah.
If you have, I apologize now. If you have thought that we're doing a good thing here, because
if you haven't seen the movies yet, save yourself. Don't do it.
I honestly think the people that love Sharknado haven't seen them.
Yeah, I'm guessing
most people.
That's a great point. I thought about this. I feel like if they did see them, first of all, they probably only saw one or two of them, so they don't see the relentless repetition of the same thing over and over again and the lack of any plot. But even if they did, they watched it 3 or 4 years out, or at least 2 or 3 movies, 2 or 3 years in between movies, where it's not like we're doing it like every few weeks, and that's where it's really hitting home.
And could you imagine if we weren't splitting this up with the Final Destination series?
Right? Yeah.
I think we'd both be gone. I think we'd both be, there'd be one of these trains would be swinging from something. If we had to do these in a row.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Sorry, no, my brain couldn't take it.
Yeah, that was a good call. Although the last Final Destination didn't help much.
That didn't help much, but still, it wasn't a Sharknado movie.
Yeah, compared to this, it's The Godfather. Yeah, for sure.
And it's not The Crow. I'm finding myself forgiving of everything after watching that movie.
You were legitimate angry during that review. That was. I was
I
glad
think it's the worst thing. Even compared to this, that was offensive.
I was glad I didn't have to review that one with you. I would have had a tough time.
Yeah,
making you laugh on that one.
Oh God, no. Yeah, but that's it's just like it goes from scene to scene in this movie, and nothing connects. Even the dialogue, the sentence before doesn't connect with the sentence after. The emotions don't connect. Like Finn being angry 1 minute, like half a breath, and then what is it doing?
Yeah, nothing connects. They can't string emotions together. They don't even seem believable as human beings. It's tough. It's tough. I get that it's a silly movie. It's a spoof, but they didn't really go all out for the comedy then. Or if this is supposed to be funny, yeah.
Naked Gun series,
yeah.
Hot Shot series,
yeah.
Scary Movie series,
mm-hmm.
The House films.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Those are good examples. Yeah.
They're silly movies, but they make an effort. Comedy actually requires a bit of, flip sake, even go back to the Abbott Costello movies and the Lauren Harlow movies and the Charlie Chaplin movies, they made an effort.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan. March of the Wooden Soldiers is a Laurel and Hardy. That's a fun that holds up still. Yeah.
But Small Soldiers.
That's a good one.
Toys, Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what I mean? There's loads of silly movies out there.
Yeah.
That make an effort and that don't lose the silliness. But Granfield, oh my God, that's brilliant. That's still like that's.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Oh, you got to see that. That is so much fun. Yeah. And it's Nicolas Cage, being daft as hell. Oh my God, Willy's Wonderland. That film is epic and it's daft as hell. Which I'm convinced Five Nights at Freddy's is a Willy's Wonderland ripoff. That's how good that movie is.
Yeah, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't. That was fucking taking itself too seriously. But even that's better than this. I still had fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just the same one-trick pony, just over and over, and it's definitely getting repetitious for sure.
Yeah. So they went to London, to Holland, to Australia, and then they decided to upgrade April by taking away her flying ability. The only bit that actually made her semi-interesting.
Yeah. So I guess I get that it's maybe the reason was that she couldn't rescue Finn. I think that was the point, is that if she had her flying equipment, she could just fly up and rescue Finn, and then the movie is an hour shorter, which I wouldn't mind. But I guess that was the whole point. But it took away the one interesting thing that was left about her, for sure.
And I don't know who they were, but oh God, yeah. And nothing works, as in, right, they're in an airship, it blows up. They're at the Sydney Opera House, it breaks. The pyramids don't work. They could have at least had this build up to a fun MacGuffin. Right, there's a worldwide connection. All the ancient monuments of the world come together when they put this staff together and activate. Pew pew, done.
Yeah.
But even that is just tiresome. Of right, we're in this. Oh, it's broken down. We'll have to fix it. Oh, it's broken down. We'll have to fix it. Again and again in the same movie. Like, not
Yeah.
even between sequels. It's like every scene in every movie, nothing works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like,
yeah. And I
what
think
the hell, man?
the runtime of a movie like this is critical, because if this was like 20 minutes shorter, I think your enjoyment goes up, tremendously. I think the fact that it was as long as it was just made it that much worse. There are certain movies like Lord of the Rings. I could watch the extended version of it. I could watch 12 hours of it.
And
And
just
it's,
not blink and go, okay, shall I start again? Boom.
yeah,
But that's a narrative storytelling. That's a massive universe.
yeah,
Comedy and actually slasher movies and stuff should be no more than an hour and a half,
right.
because you lose any impact. That's my biggest complaint about Terrifier 2. Far too long
Yeah,
for
but I
what
think
it is.
the quality of the movie, it's like a direct correlation between the length of time. So like a movie like this should only be about 15 minutes, and that'd be a lot more fun. But even if you want to make it like an hour, something like that. But the length of time in this movie made it even worse than it already would have been. I feel
Because
like.
it just felt like padding.
Yeah,
Like, there's nothing in this movie, and it still felt like I had to pad it out.
yeah, 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 for sure.
Yeah. Then they go to Rome.
And the Pope.
Oh my god. So apparently that bloke Fabio's a model.
Yeah, great acting. What do you call it? Great casting job, right? When you think of the Pope, don't you think of Fabio from '90s romance movies?
They could have even dug up what's his face? One of the Italian chef or something, are there no famous Italians?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. But that would have made sense.
Could have not have does Italy not have reality TV?
Yeah, if you could do Charo for the Queen, you could certainly have gotten someone.
This is
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
But then we have this weird scene. But even in this disjointed mess, even makes less mess of some random art thief nicking the MacGuffin.
yeah. That was strange, and it didn't have any payoff. Yeah, and also that guy clearly didn't realize he was in a Sharknado movie, because he was like intense.
He was
And
trying.
active. He was trying. Yeah.
That's what you don't do in these movies. He was actually
Yeah.
trying to be. He thought he was in the Bourne Identity or the James Bond movie or something.
I could imagine him watching the movie eventually when it came out, and he's like, "What the hell? I had no idea. No one told me." He clearly did not see the first four, for sure.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was in. He just got his lines and went, "Okay, I'm in this scene for a secret movie."
Yeah, yeah.
What was that for?
I think they were doing like an homage to different movies. Like, so they had the
Italian Job with the
That was
trilogy, but there was no
Italian
minis.
stuff. I know, because they can't even get that.
Whatever he was driving in a smart car.
Yeah. But they had like the Indiana Jones at the beginning. They had the Italian Job. They even had like a Back to the Future reference.
Oh god,
the end of
please
the
don't.
movie.
That's where I was proper offended. It's like, don't
Yeah.
go there. Don't fucking go there.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, if they ever try to remake that, I think the studios, whatever studio tries to remake that, it should be burnt down. There should be protests.
Oh, I
bricks
love that.
thrown.
I love Back to the Future. I love
If
even
they ever try to interfere with that, I people should arrive en masse with
yeah,
bricks.
yeah,
And any actor that signs up for that should get things thrown at them.
yeah, for sure.
I'm probably also in the UK. Me saying this is illegal, by the way. I'm probably going to jail right now. You'll
Oh,
hear
really?
the floor getting kicked in.
They don't like Back to the Future.
No, they don't like you being hyperbolic.
Oh, okay. I get it.
It's a fucking joke, internet. It's a fucking joke. Calm down. No, but seriously, protest the studio.
Yeah,
And I don't mean online. I mean physically turn up with placards and stuff and go, no. ever touch that movie, the series of movies.
Oh, they're awesome. I agree.
No, but that's they've mined every IP and they've been putting their beady eyes on it. They keep bringing it up. What if?
Yeah.
It's like don't do it. Don't even parody it, you bastard. Especially this, like, don't parody it. Stay away.
Yeah. After The Crow, you couldn't take it. Your heart couldn't take it. Yeah.
No.
No more remakes.
Even then, that was just an offensive movie. But Back to the Future was part of my childhood. Like proper, staple.
Yeah. All I wanted as a kid were those hoverboards from the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That's a shame they don't exist yet.
That's because we're too busy arguing, and we invented social media instead. Now everyone's become dumb, stops inventing stuff.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that there's no innovation anymore ever since social media was invented?
Yeah, it's true.
We used to invent things. We used to be innovative. And we used to reach for the stars. Now it's like, nah, we'll just go meh, 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 meh.
Yeah. Yeah. Too busy
like we're doing
arguing
right now. Oh God. Then we get back. Where did we end up? Was it Paris? No.
The chase scene, I think, within the Alps or something.
Yeah, and then we ended up back with Nova again.
Yeah, so it's a chase scene. Then I think it was the Alps, and then it was Nova. Yeah,
because they're zapping. Basically what they're doing is they're starting some random plot in the zap, and then they end up somewhere else, and then it's just a whole another random sequence of events. Like there's no. I know they're trying to find Gil, but the random shit that goes on in between doesn't. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Nova dies. And then they're all friends again.
Yeah. I like this part where the characters started to die one by one. And I knew it wasn't gonna hold up. And I knew they're gonna revert it back, just like what is the Marvel movie Infinity War, when all the characters die at the end, and then
they're coming back.
They're coming back, and then it's less than a year later. So I knew that was going to happen, but even still, it was still kind of enjoyable to see some of these terrible characters die one by one. Matt, and then Nova, or Nova, then Matt, and people and everyone. But it did get me thinking, though. Like it was getting weirder and weirder, and then when all the characters died, like this is not going to hold up. And in fact, this makes me think that there's even more going on to this reality falling apart. And I did the one thing you're not supposed to do in a Sharknado movie. I started thinking,
oh dear, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Because you know what happens when you start thinking, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Thinking leads to theories. Let's do it. It's a theory. It's a Chris. It's a theory. Chrissy Chris. Chrissy Chris. Chris's crazy theory. What's going to be impressive is getting one coherent thought out of this movie.
So
because the movie doesn't have one.
I think this is going to recontextualize the entire saga for you. If you're willing to come on this crazy train with me, I think this is going to make you rethink.
I've watched the movie. I can't go anywhere worse.
Exactly. So to make sure the audience is up to speed with us on this crazy train, let's go back to the very beginning of the saga. All right. We start out with Finn. If we take a look at this first image, he's surfing with his friend, and he makes a comment that there's something unnatural about this, which I thought nothing of it at the time. But having seen these 5 movies now, I'm starting to rethink that. But just to cycle ahead, so he sees this girl that only he seems to see, and she's about to go surfing with him. Like he's all happy. This is the last time.
That's before he gets back with April.
This is before he's seen any of the Sharknado movies. This is the actor. but then it's just him and this girl surfing, And if you rewatch that scene, which I would never
No,
expect you to,
no, you asked
if.
too much.
I said if. They're mirroring each other's movements, and it seemed very strange to me that no one else seemed to see her. And I started to thinking maybe this girl isn't even real. And now when she dies, she actually becomes the first victim of a shark attack. At least as far as Finn's perspective, there was that initial scene on the boat, but Finn was not there. So what I think is actually happening is that this girl was part of his imagination, and that he was actually the victim of a regular, normal shark attack. And let me go to the next scene here. If the way it was shot, it was very visceral. It was very point of view, this first attack. We don't see this in any of the other deaths. But this first one, I don't know if you could see, but this is the eyeball of the shark. It was thrashing around. It was like a point of view sort of situation. I think this was actually what happened to Finn. He was the victim of a regular shark attack. He lost a lot of blood, and it took a while for his buddy to come rescue him. Now, in the movie, he's rescuing his friend, but I think in reality, his friend took him a while to get on the jet ski to come all the way out and save him. Meanwhile, he lost a lot of blood from the shark attack. He lost consciousness, and he slipped into a coma. And I think this scene where he's actually helping his friend, in reality, he was the one that was in trouble and lost consciousness and has been in a coma this entire time. If you look back and you see when he looks at that girl, there's this odd light, almost like an illusionary or dreamlike state that was placed on her. He's picturing this girl in his head. He's reliving the shark attack in his own brain. In fact, when she dies and she looks at him, she's looking directly at him because this is all in his head. Now, I can see you're doubting me. And by you, I mean the entire audience.
Yeah, it's not the bad lighting or the terrible effects or the awful acting. It's none of that.
More proof, you say, you need. So, according to the National Institute of Health, drowning can cause a coma due to brain hypoxia or a lack of oxygen to the brain. Now, some may say I seem to be suffering from that right now, but I say no.
We've just watched 5 Sharknado movies.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
That's the same thing. Yeah.
But just a few minutes of hypoxia may result in a persistent coma. And I think that's what's happened to Finn. Let's look at more evidence, you say. You didn't say. I said. But one thing that researchers will say is an example. If you're in the middle of a dream, they say a sign that you're in a dream is that people in the dream tend to change shape, even or change form. People that you recognize, family members, they look a little bit different from one moment to another. Take an example.
Plastic surgery.
This is that's another theory. That's another theory. But this theory, his daughter looked this way in the beginning, and then looks this way later on, and that is because, again, this is all a dream. So people look.
Where's
different.
4?
Same thing. Same thing with his son.
You didn't put in 4, where she looks completely different again.
I didn't want to do that to her, but yes, exactly. Matt, same thing. Matt looks this way in the beginning, and then as his dream goes on, he looks completely different. So that's one example. More proof, you say you need. So another thing researchers say, another sign that you're actually in a dream, is that, warped and strange, unnatural things can occur. Well, I think we've seen that throughout these movies, right? We have the Sharknados, crazy things happening all the time. I mean, for crying out loud, we have a giant shark in space. This is clearly a dream inside his own head. More proof, you say you need. I don't know why you keep saying it, but more proof I have for you. Another thing researchers say is that in the dream, you tend to be the star in your own dream, the focus of major events that are occurring. Well, here we see he was actually saving the world with the president of the United States. So clearly he's the focus in his own mind. And that explains why he's able to do everything and be able to do, basically have unlimited abilities. Okay, I know what you're saying. You need more proof. And I have more proof for you, good sir.
I need more oxygen to the brain. They're watching these movies.
So another thing is, if he's in a coma, that means there's people with him that are visiting him, trying to talk to him, family members, things like that. And oftentimes in the hospital room, there's TVs on in the background. That's why we keep seeing images of news anchors throughout these movies, because this is all playing out in his head. Researchers say that audible stimuli would leak into your dreams, such as from a TV or radio. So that's exactly what's going on. So we're seeing that play out both in the news, reports, and also in the movies. You see how this last movie, everything was a copy of a movie, such as the Back to the Future. We mentioned Indiana Jones. These are movies that are being watched on TV, leaking into his subconscious as he sits in a coma. You could even see also at the end of the movie, the Earth is grayed. What does this remind us of? A graying Earth that's, in trouble. It looks like a brain scan to me, because again, he is in a coma. Now, I can see that you're doubting.
This is a better plot than the movie.
So I know what you're saying. You're saying, Chris, sweet Chris, if this was really true and he had brain trauma and was in a coma, we would need to see some sign of that reflected in his dreams. He would need to be focusing somehow on the brain if he's somehow aware of the danger that he's in to his brain. So I have for you the final proof. This is what's going on, but the final proof that he is actually in a coma right here. This is April talking to him. And when he says, no, don't go, that's April talking to him. And look, he's holding a human brain, a human head in his hands. This is the smoking gun, my friend. This is the proof that Finn Shepard is in a coma in a hospital, and this is all playing out in his dreams. And that is my theory.
His dream are nightmares. Oh, God.
It's a theory. It's a Chris. It's a theory. Chris. Chris's crazy theory.
We can distill this all down to the Sharknado movies are due to lack of oxygen in the brain. And you know what? That makes so much sense. I feel like I've got lack of oxygen in the brain after watching these movies.
That's a side effect. Yes.
Oh, God, yeah. Projectile dreaming or something is just how he's having his fever dream and we're all getting sucked into it.
Yeah.
That was better than this. Seriously.
It explains a lot, right?
That actually makes more sense than this. He wakes up. Oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah. There's no other explanation for all this.
There's a lot of franchises over recent years need to do that.
Yeah.
Main character wakes up. Oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah, normally,
the last 10 years of movies. Oh, it was all a dream.
Normally, I think that's an easy out for writers, just to wake up and say it was all a dream, and then there's no consequences. In this case, it actually would at least explain what we've been watching. I wouldn't mind it in this case. Yeah.
But didn't even get a proper climax in this.
No. They clearly knew they were getting a 6, which I don't know how you go into a Sharknado not thinking that this is going to be the last one. The fact that that's the ultimate conceit, to think, oh, we'll have another one. We could play this out and make it a cliffhanger.
Yeah, let's make a follow through for the next. Yeah. They didn't get Gil back. The world blows up. Everybody dies. It actually feels like Infinity War.
Yeah.
Everyone may as well just disappear in the dust. I'm like, no.
Yeah. If this was the ending to the first one, I would have really liked it. But because you know by now that it's not going to hold up, it loses all value of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, there's no... Like I said, if they had have found out, like, this could have been a really simple story. They found out under Stonehenge that there's a shark god. They find one piece of the MacGuffin because it's been hidden all over the world by different tribes they need to bring together because they couldn't have it all in one place in case the sharks took it out.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to assemble MacGuffin, hence traveling around the world.
Yeah.
And each of the 7 wonders of the world had part of the MacGuffin that they then put together to make Super MacGuffin. Super MacGuffin goes pew pew, Sharknado's end.
Yeah.
What was wrong with that?
Yeah.
That,
too concise. It makes too much sense. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, because with these movies, you can have a laugh and do the cameos and stuff, but just have a friggin' actual storyline.
Yeah. You could do both.
I give up on it was the V remake that made me I think that was the point I was done with TV. Even Marina Baccarin couldn't save it.
Oh, from Firefly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to bring back Jade Baylor in the 2nd season. Like a pure desperation. It was just horrible. I think, was there a 3rd season?
I don't recall.
I think I got to the 2nd. I just gave up on life and TV and stuff, and that was a Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
That was the final insult. I hadn't even watched. I think that's where I stopped watching these, because around about that time, that god awful V show came out, and I'm like, I can't do TV anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ruined my childhood. I'm glad that I didn't grow up. I would be a gibbering wreck. I'd be drooling if I grew up watching all that stuff. Like, I'd just be like, just I couldn't. It would hurt.
I can see that.
Like, imagine knowing all these people. That means you've watched them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like when we were kids, because we're in the same age bracket, I feel like we watched grown-up stuff, and a lot of the stuff was pretty, pretty good quality, like Back to the Future, and these were not kid movies. They had a good plot, they had a good story, and even if you weren't like age appropriate or whatever, not that that's a bad movie, but I'm just saying in general, like 80s and 90s movies, they had, for the most part, decent storytelling. They had
It's the 2000s. The 2000s, everything went the rat shit.
Yeah.
And it's not even being a certain age. You see young folks now are looking back the older movies because they can't even stand what's being made for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad. But I'm happy that I watch these movies with blissful ignorance, that I have not taken part in any of that pop culture. And funny enough, this is the pop culture that was aimed at our age. This would be us in our 20s, supposedly watching this stuff.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah. And it's been the same director. It's probably been the same writer. I'd like to see it, someone else give it a try, and just, either go one way or the other. Go for like, slapstick comedy, like a Naked Gun, or go the other way and make it more of a horror type. Even though it's a silly premise, you could still do like a Killer Clowns. Silly premise, but still kept
proper horror
in it. So I'd like to see one way or the other. The way they've been doing it so far is it's not successful at either. It's not funny enough.
They tried to go more serious with us, and it just ended up being boring.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, this was proper boring.
Yeah, I think, again, if this had been the first movie, I think it would have worked from a consequence standpoint. I'm always a big fan of consequences, but fake consequences are worse than no consequences. Like, that none of this is going to hold up. None of these deaths, which would normally have had impact, are going to hold up. They tell you at the end, he's going to go back in time and he's going to change everything. So it's not even a cliffhanger. They're literally telling you, here we go. Here's the car going back to the future, and he's going to fix everything. So even the consequences don't hold up as a cliffhanger.
Do you think Dolph Lundgren's going to save this franchise? Well, actually, it didn't need saving. That's the annoying thing. This was popular. What am I talking about? These things made money. People turned up in droves to watch it.
Yeah, yeah,
It was a phenomenon, and I don't see why. But
yeah. I don't either.
I like Dolph Lundgren.
That's
Like
what I
of all the '80s himbos, like he's actually pretty decent,
yeah,
and he doesn't take himself too seriously.
yeah. To me, he's one of the best movie villains of all time with Rocky Four.
Absolutely, Drago.
Oh,
Like
he's great.
absolutely amazing. He was the worst He-Man of all time, but well, I'll forgive him that. And he has been in some stinkers, but
Yeah,
at the same time, he knows what he is. He's only doing it because it's an easy way to make money. Like the guy's flipping an engineer. He doesn't need to do this.
Hmm.
What's funny is, you got the Stallones and Schwarzeneggers are so desperate to stay relevant, and Dolph Lundgren never gave a shit. That's why I like him out of all of them, because even any of the roles he's been in, he throws himself in it and he just does it for the joy of it, and you can see it in what he does.
yeah.
Like he's been in zombie movies and everything. He's like just a larger version of Nick Cage, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And he's just having fun, and fair play to him,
someone
and he
should
would
put,
disappear tomorrow and not care, if that makes sense.
yeah, someone should put the two of them in a movie. That'd be cool.
That
Nick
would
Cage
be actually
and
Nick Cage and Dolph Lundgren. Oh my god, that would be
Yeah,
something. Yeah, this is the only bit of coherent storyline actually, is when Finn's walking the wasteland
yeah,
and Dolph Lundgren turns up. Basically he's Gil. He's went back in time.
right. But even that was a ripoff, of
Yeah, I know it was. It was
Yeah.
a direct ripoff of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The end of Back to the Future and
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2. Still, they've tried to rip off other things and been absolutely abysmal. This is the only one that made an effort. I think they knew if they absolutely disrespected Back to the Future franchise, they would be in trouble.
Yeah,
I think they had to tread carefully.
that's true. That's true. it's hallowed ground. They're working.
Yeah.
They're walking. On.
But yeah, Dolph Lundgren's now Gil, and now they're going back in time
Yeah.
to reset everything, and got another movie to do.
Is next one the last one? 6?
Yeah,
All right.
apparently.
We made it.
But we're not doing that yet. We've got Final Destination 5.
Nice.
Hopefully they've because they're talking about making a 6.
I think it's pretty far into production. I think there's even a trailer. So
Yeah, so we'll be revisiting that.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen a trailer yet, but it doesn't mean it's not out there. I avoid trailers now.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw something, but it could have been a fan made. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
But
watch it.
we're-
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I tried not to see any spoilers for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, same here, because it just gets disjointed. I have to wait, because if I watch too many movies out of order, then you know my streaming schedule is like.
Yeah.
But this is impossible to keep up with.
Yeah.
Really is, because they're not even trying. But there you go. We will be back with the Final Destination to give ourselves a wee palate cleanser. So that'll be the last one of that for a while anyway. And then we'll wrap this one up, and then we'll be on to new things.
Sounds good.
But as always, Chris, appreciate you, man, coming up and suffering through these with me. This seemed like a good idea at the time. I didn't understand the reality, and I do apologize.
Nah, I'm having fun, man. No worries.
Nobody should have to suffer alone.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. Thanks everybody for turning up. And until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the type of clicky things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.